Hi, I'm Jamie. Welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for August 19th. I'm putting the cameras for you too. Just give me 2 seconds. I fell asleep on the couch. I'm sorry, but hi, everybody. Welcome. Tonight we have a Bible finale, and then you guys have Star Trek, right? And yeah, it's a short show tonight.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I just walked through my front door 2 minutes ago.
Well, that's good.
I was at rowing practice.
Yeah, I know. You said that. That's cool. I don't think I could do that.
Well,
But
I'm the drummer on the Dragon Boat team, so I don't have to paddle. I sit in a chair and
that's the easy one then, I guess, right?
I sit in a tiny chair on the end of the boat and I beat the drum and keep time and yell at everybody.
You're good at that.
Well, it's important to be loud, and I'm not. Look, it's a corporate team. It's sponsored by my old company, and I quit my job 2 years ago, and I'm still on the team because they can't find anybody as loud as me to be on the team.
Well, there you go. I'm not surprised. No, I'm kidding.
So, Bill, chill. Bill has still not watched the revival finale. Well, you might get spoiled if you hang out here. Are you sure you want to be around?
Why wouldn't you watch the revival finale by now? My goodness.
Well, maybe the man has things to do.
The revival's too good to do things.
Well, Bill, I worry about you, but maybe you're not. Maybe Bill's not that into it and doesn't mind a little spoilage going on.
Yeah, let me just get the pic. There we go. All right, we're good. Aha, I figured it out. Oh, poop.
All right, so this is I guess we open and close with this view. I guess we have a lot of this view throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. What is that Emily, is it just a makeshift kind of a cross? Is it just like some wood? I don't really know what it is that she's chained to.
Yeah, I think it's well, it kind of looks like a cross, but it's like not.
I was going to say it's like a cross that's laying down.
Yeah, kind of. That's what I was going to say.
It kind of reminds me of those hedgehogs that they put on the beach at Normandy to block anybody. You know what a hedgehog are? Those big cross-looking things they put into the sand on Normandy Beach. So so that we couldn't land there, right? I guess prevent the ships and vehicles from driving up the beach. It's kind of what it looks like to me. But yeah, it's it's a cross. I don't think it's the crucifix from the church, because I don't know that Blaine is like a church. I mean, he's a believer, right? He's not a defile. I mean, okay, yes, it defiles a church to kill someone inside of it. So yes, he is a defiler of churches, I guess, right?
I mean, look, he said that he's in the show. Has said he's a preacher. So yeah, I'd be kind of surprised actually that he didn't use the right thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's worse to use an actual cross if you're going to kill somebody on it. I'm not sure which is more blasphemous and worse, to be honest.
He's like a self-styled, revival, those tent revivals that used to have. That's the kind of preacher I think he is, right?
Yeah.
He's with a church and congregation. Yeah.
Sorry, there we go.
He's closer to he's more like Jim Baker.
Yeah, he's more like he reminds me of like on Little House on the Prairie, the faith healer that came to town, who was a fake, right?
That's probably a better.
Yeah. Oh, my hair, you guys, from the boat. Sorry about that.
Hey, I'm sunburned, so it's all good.
I gotta go open my window. I'll be right back. I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah. So why don't you go first, AJ, then? Because I know everybody's kind of heard my opinion already, and Karen.
I mean, 10 episodes, not a bad one in the bunch.
No, there's not.
Everything was so good. I mean, I gotta say, with all that happened in this episode, I think the most shocking thing for me was when Wayne got shot. I was like, I actually yelled at you. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I didn't expect him to do that. Yeah, that was shocking.
That was surprising, especially a guy that is set up to not be a fan favorite, and yet I think we were all really worried about him when he got shot, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I
I
thought
hate,
that she maybe wasn't going to be able to do it because I figured she didn't know what she did the first time. Who knows if she can do it again, right?
I hate Wayne. He's a piece of shit, but he didn't deserve to be shot by Blaine either. I wish the guy emotional harm, but not physical harm.
Yeah.
That makes it all okay then, I guess.
So
You
I
know,
think that, we had Luke Boyce, creator, in the chat on the deep dive the other night, last week.
Sunday. Or
And,
no,
Sunday.
God, I don't know what days it is. What
Wait.
day it is anymore.
And he answered a
Right.
lot of questions for us. And like, there's a question that I wish I had asked. We know that they have made the television version of Wayne is much more abrasive, and much more unpleasant than he was in the comic book. He's way worse on TV. And Luke Boyce is like, oh yeah, we did, but I wish I had asked him why. Like, why did you feel you had to make him like a bigger jerk, right? Like, why can't he? Right? Like, I'm not sure. I'd be interested to know why they did that, right?
I don't know. I was gonna say, other than they just wanted him to be the antagonist. I mean, I think like their bad relationship is a pretty big part of it. But hi, Lori, welcome. Yeah.
I mean, I think
it has been a big part of it, and obviously that kind of culminates in this one where they bring back the whole drip again, and how it's all coming from his office. Like, it all comes with him. All their relationship issues and everything all started with him.
I don't know about all their relationship issues, right?
Well,
like, they all carry their own share of guilt from they all carry their own share of guilt from the night that Patty died. It doesn't all come from Wayne. Em has her whole own set of guilt for being the driver of that car, and Dana has her own whole set of guilt from not being able to drive that car, right? Like, that doesn't have to do with Wayne. He's not solely responsible for.
No, he's not solely responsible
issues
for that. But I'm saying, like, I mean, he's kind of not been a good father, and that's what's caused them to have such a bad relationship.
I mean, is he a bad father compared to Blaine's father, who put nails into his hands? Like, when was he like? I mean, he fed them. Like, is he a bad father? I mean, he's not
a great father.
Not the best. I mean, there's not evidence that he was a bad father when they grew up. It seemed to all go sideways at this event when the mother died, right?
Yeah.
But so I wonder why they chose to make it like, okay, he's not like, they're not all like, Brady Bunch happy in the comic book, but like, why they chose to make him like that is interesting to me. I'd like to know. And it's too late. I'll find out next year, I guess.
I mean, I can only speculate on the decision, but in one aspect, it kind of, I think in the medium of TV, I think it plays better the more harsh he is, because, like you said, he's that antagonist, and you kind of notice him more. I don't know how much attention you pay to him in the comics. It's different when you're reading something like.
Mm-hmm. It is
somebody awful in the comics, like Negan, for example. You love to fucking hate the guy. Like, you hate the guy, but there's that spark in it, So I think when you transfer something to the TV, sometimes you got to change it up a little just to make it more interesting, because like it sounds like Wayne's a lot more subdued and probably not a integral key figure that you pay a lot of attention to when you're reading the comic, Karen, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a question I wish I had asked. But I didn't. But yeah, I jumped off. I went off topic because AJ said, like, look, you don't like the guy, but he didn't deserve to be shot, because nobody deserves to be shot, really, right? Except for I don't
maybe
know.
Blaine.
Maybe Blaine. Aaron probably deserved to be shot. Yeah. So,
Lori said, which is true, that it creates more drama, and it does parallel with Jesse and Rose. We didn't get very much of Jesse and Rose, though, and I know there wasn't a lot of time.
Well, we didn't need to. I mean, there's.
I know.
The important thing about Rose was, which the whole land deal, everything with the land, that was a total red herring, which I thought was done, which is done really well. And it turns out to be this whole, immortality thing that Lester's got going on in his head. That it turned out that was the reason for it. So, other than that, we didn't really need anything else. I mean, the big mystery was M, and getting to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
So, I was going to say, though, I think that we really see, though, in this episode, like how far, obviously, Blaine has gone and how far he's willing to go. But, I was surprised he shot Wayne. And I know we said that, but like he's going after the revivers, and that's kind of been his thing. And not that that's okay, but I mean, they are technically dead. And for him to shoot somebody who didn't, like you said, didn't deserve to be shot. I just didn't expect him to do that. And
no, not at all.
I also kind of thought that once M saved him, that maybe Blaine would change his mind. And he still wanted her dead and was like, I can't take that chance. And he didn't even like really think about it. He's already on that side.
It's interesting because Blaine doesn't believe them about M. So shooting Wayne is a big risk because if M can't heal him, you just murdered the sheriff. Who was alive. He was not a reviver. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he can make an argument about revivers, but not somebody that wasn't dead.
Yeah. But I think that's a lot of this scene, though, too. The beginning is we get a lot of, I mean, they're kind of explaining it, I guess, if you don't get it too. But the fact that like Blaine's seeing what he wants to see because he's trying to, accept, I guess, what all the way back from what his father did, and that's why he sees these as them being damned and everything else, and he's not willing to see another side of it. Like Abraham says, confirmation bias.
We're the hero of our own story.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we were all surprised by that. Now I know we had talked about the other night too about Tyler. I had really hoped that he was going to step up and do something. I don't know. I felt like through a lot of it that maybe he was going to, or maybe he was going to not give her a full shot or something, because he didn't seem to like. He was already, I think, a little bit unsure of things after what happened with Wanda, and then whenever Ibrahim brought it up, I really thought that he was going to maybe help her out. I don't know. Did you guys feel that way at all, or was it just me?
It was compared to me, it was definitely just you because I forgot about Tyler except for when he's on screen.
I mean, I feel the same way. I kind of forgot about Tyler except when he was on screen, and he was I didn't expect him to do anything because I didn't really think of him as much more than a I wouldn't call him a red shirt but he was kind of like a character that was just there to be like. Yeah, I didn't think of him as much more than Blaine's like assistant.
A henchman with a name.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little bit reluctant, Jamie, but I didn't expect him to do anything. But maybe that's just me. I don't know if anybody else thought he might do something, but I didn't. I think from the chat last week, maybe some people took greater notice of him. Now, maybe I didn't take notice of him because I know that he doesn't like intervene, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, granted, I'm more like this in this scene. I don't know that I had expected him to until I watched the scene.
Yeah.
But as it was unfolding, I kind of thought that maybe he would like switch sides a little bit, or I don't know, help her in some way.
Yeah. And also like you're hoping for that, right? You're hoping for someone to help them.
Yeah. Definitely. But obviously he does not. Sorry, I'm trying to see my little pictures. I'm not able to. I don't know why. For some reason today, my eyesight, I swear, is worse. I'm like,
we're getting a nice look at the top of your head there.
Oh yeah, look at that. My sunburnt head, huh? So yeah,
matches her hair.
We kind of, yeah, it does. we kind of talked about it. I mean, he shoots him, and they expect, I don't know. That's the thing too. I don't think he actually expected M to do it.
Wait,
No, because
Blaine didn't expect M to heal Wayne.
Right, which is why it is kind of odd, because at the same time, like I said, he's not, or at least I didn't think he was like a cold-blooded killer, and I don't think he expected her to do it. But yet at the same time, if he didn't expect it to work, why did he shoot her?
That's exactly what I was saying.
He could. I don't know. Maybe he really wanted to see it. I'm not sure. But
and then when she did, he was shocked. So
and he still wanted her dead. So it really didn't accomplish anything on his end. But yeah, Lane's he's not willing to change.
No, I mean at this point, Wayne's a little unhinged. So
yeah,
logic left the window.
I mean, I mean, I think Blaine was he's not willing. He's got his view, and when the evidence is before his eyes, he still can't change his view, right? Because he can't, like, if he accepts, he can't accept that he was wrong, and that everything, like, he would have to then admit that everything he's been doing is wrong, right? And that everything he endured with his father, he doesn't want to admit that his father was a fraud. He doesn't want to admit that he himself is a fraud, that he's wrong. Like, this is all we talked about the other night, like people who just can't accept what's in front of their eyes because it like blows out their worldview, right?
Yeah. It's kind of, I'm confused with that. Oh, I guess because he's from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I was like, I lost it there a second. Blaine. I'm like, wait, what? Kind of cool that he's from The Walking Dead. Yeah. I like Blaine. I guess my question now though is because they don't actually, I don't think, show if they survive, right? They just say some of them died, I think.
Who is they? Who's some of them?
As in, they don't show what happens to if Blaine and them make it. They don't show who makes it out, right? They just show there's a shootout and they kind of go on to the next stuff. I don't think we see if Blaine, because I'm kind of assuming Blaine survives that, but I don't think.
We don't see what happens to Blaine. Blaine's people, some of them die, some of them don't. Yeah, Blaine himself, we don't.
Blaine doesn't die, but we don't know for sure. But
so that's a season 2 answer,
right? But I'm kind of curious, like, I guess at this point, like, where his storyline is going to go, because if he doesn't want to accept that they're not bad or whatever, and that the revivers aren't what he thinks they are, then he did try to kill somebody, and I would think that, maybe that should have some consequences. I don't know that it will in a TV show, but yeah, I'm just kind of curious where he's going to go from here, and I hadn't really thought about it in the terms of in the scope before, because we were busy, thinking about all the other things in the finale, and I hadn't really thought about Blaine, and now I'm kind of like just wondering, what happens next for him.
Find out in a year and a half or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
that's for sure.
If you assume he's alive and that he's maybe gone into hiding or on the run, he has not changed his opinion that revivers need to be eliminated, and he would then maybe remain a threat, right?
Yeah.
Because the revivers there seems to be a change of heart by the end of it, in town. Maybe, right? Like, of course, the mayor and Wayne,
they definitely kind of change.
They want to integrate revivers, but we don't really know where that's going to go. But Blaine, if he's alive, if he escapes, he would continue to be a threat, right?
Yeah.
I have to believe Blaine's still alive, because I feel like he's not a character he's not a character you kill off screen.
Right.
So he's alive. Whether he's incarcerated or escaped, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's not the last we've seen from Stephen Ogg on this show.
I think you guys are right that you wouldn't kill Stephen Ogg or kill Blaine off screen. That's not a cool, right? If he's dead, they would have showed us he's dead.
Yeah.
I don't need to see all the dead henchmen, but I need to see him dead if he's dead.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm also, you say that like them having a change of heart. I mean, they've changed the laws, and the governor has stopped we don't know for sure if the governor was really in on what was going on with Kale. I mean, supposedly the governor, didn't tell Kale to do that, right? But we don't know whether that's true or not. But it sounds like by the end of it that they're going to be not arresting people like they were. But, obviously that doesn't mean that people are going to accept it, because otherwise, we'd have no show. So I don't think that the whole
Right. Just because they're not being held prisoner in a barn doesn't mean that they're free to go wherever they want or to leave Wausau or to, right?
Well, I think most of them are out of Wausau now. So that's the other thing that I kind of wondered, like, is a lot of it going to take place in a different like town, because they got them out of there.
Oh, because Netta was going to take a lot of them out through the tunnels.
Yeah, Nella or whatever her name is. Yeah, she took them out.
Nella, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll take place all over the place, or maybe we won't get to see the other revivers. Maybe it'll just focus on Em and Dana. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then I know we also talked a little bit about the Black Tears and exactly what that means.
It's blood. She's
Yeah.
crying blood.
It is supposed to be, but it's also black and doesn't look like blood.
That's the lighting.
That confused me. No, I remember Luke had said it was black. I don't know. I definitely know in the comics that it's blood, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of wondering if maybe, I don't know if there's supposed to be more to it, or it's more of like an artistic thing that they chose to make it black. I don't know. But
I'll be honest, I didn't even notice it was black. I just figured it was she was crying blood.
And we haven't seen any of the other revivers that happened to him. But then again, we haven't seen any of the other revivers heal either. So
well, it's like I said way back before we got our answers. I felt like because M died in the water that she was special, and then I find out in this episode how special she is because she's the reason for Revival Day. But
yeah, I still wonder if it's relevant. She was born in the water too, but as I said before, I don't know that you could. I mean, look, I've never had a baby, but I would think that you couldn't use water from the creek, like, to have a baby in it. You know what I mean? I would think that it would have to be cleaned, but maybe it was filtered. I don't know.
Okay, it was just bath water.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
but it just,
I don't think their water comes from the creek. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look,
I don't think that
went to the mill could have been cleaner too. We don't know. But
I think I don't think there's a connection there.
Yeah, I don't either. It's all about her dying in the water. I don't think it has anything to do with her birth.
Because it's about Lester performing a ritual that he thinks will, right? It's about the ritual that he's performing, and whatever about M that made it work when it didn't work with Rose. But I don't think being born in the bathtub is what it is.
No, but there is kind of this whole thing about how her mother had said that the water I forget what she said. And I think it was in the flashback or something, she said that it was magical. And Lori's right. He did kind of allude that maybe there was something, and I don't know, but it just, how many times they've kind of mentioned the water makes you wonder if it.
I don't know. She cried blood before. She doesn't always cry black. She cried blood. She cried red blood in an earlier episode.
Was it red? Okay, I was going to say, I didn't remember any other episode if it was.
She cried red blood in an earlier episode. It's something about this incident. It's not. She cried red blood earlier. We don't know if nobody else.
Yes, her father's heart is black.
No.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not serious.
Her father's heart is not black. I think. What was I? No, I lost what I was going to say. We don't really know if, like, there's so few other revivers that are real characters. There was Rhodey, and there was like a couple scenes with the mayor's wife, but we really don't know much about the other revivers, or if anyone might also cry blood in this type of situation, right? Or be able to heal. We don't know.
I'm not sure.
We know that M is different in some ways from the other revivers.
I have to though wonder too, like, and I don't know how much they're in or not in the comics, but like, because we have a whole series, we may get more on other revivers that like maybe you don't get in the comics, or maybe other like featured revivers, I guess is how I'd say.
Right.
I would wonder that maybe other ones. I mean, who knows? Maybe M can heal. Maybe other revivers have different powers. I kind of thought that was a possibility.
Well, like I said the other night, the this is issue 42. this episode, and there's only 47 comics, so there's only 5 comics, so they have the ability to expand
Yeah, well, they're gonna have
on a lot of stuff.
some of the stuff.
It doesn't have to just be. I mean, yeah, M's still our central character, but they can expand on other things, which could involve other revivers.
Good. I just think that could be interesting, and I think that if to be sustainable, unless they have a whole mythology on M, I mean, there could be a lot, that they have planned for M and Dana and everything. But I'm just saying, like, it could be interesting if with the TV series we get to know more of them where normally we wouldn't, just because they need to add, a story. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few things they skipped over in the comic that they could bring in. But they are pretty close to the end. Yeah.
We also have, I think I have a picture here. He does also, wrong picture. I cannot see these. They're so tiny. He does take a sample of
he being Ibrahim.
Ibrahim in the picture that I put up.
I know you're Mrs. Pronoun.
I assume that you could see his picture. Ibrahim
but
does take a sample of her tears, so maybe we'll find out more of what that's about too, just from him sciencing it, right?
Yeah, I think he wants to examine
science, bitch.
Yeah, science. So, yeah, I gotta say, now that I'm like having rewatched this a few times, and I mean, now we know that Lester is the one that caused it all, but I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking, like, your sister's in danger, and I don't know that Lester was necessarily the right person to, if he wasn't the bad, quote unquote bad guy, the person that I would think could take care of her. But I guess he's unassuming, so maybe you would think
that's exactly what it is. Lester is unassuming, which is how he got away with all this in the first place.
Well, they've known him their whole lives, right? Like, it's a small town. They've, he's a little bit of a local celebrity. Everybody knows him.
Yeah, they should have,
and he's there.
Should have listened to him more often, though. I feel like they would have maybe figured out things a lot quicker if they had listened, because every time Lester had something to say, it was important to the story. We're all like, listen to Lester.
I don't know that. I don't think he gave away too many clues.
No. But I'm saying, like, if they had paid attention to what he had to say instead of brushing him off, like, they might have figured out what was going on sooner. I'm just saying, like, even when he had clues about who had shot, not that. I mean, granted, I guess he knew technically who shot because he hired Brent, but I'm just saying, like, he knew things and nobody ever listened, is my point. They kind of brushed him off, but yeah, I don't know if it counts knowing he's the murderer, but I'm just, because now it's a little different. But
that's kind of the point, though. You look back at it and it's like a lot of the stuff he did, his motivations and stuff he said and did kind of make sense even more so now, like, I mean, his motivation for the immortality, because, like you said, he kind of gets cast aside because of his age, and he that scene after he gets beat up by the military, and he's in the police station, and he's sitting there, and they're like, "Oh, Lester, this, that," and he's like, "Would you guys just stop?" He's like, "I'm not incompetent." I remember his exact words, but he's like, "I'm not incompetent. Like this is part of the problem. Like, you treat old people like we can't do anything."
And it's true. And I like that that's in there to begin with. I don't know if that's that much in the comic or not, because I mean, he is the killer in the comic, I'm assuming. So
same killer in the comic.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a lot of that ageism in there or not, is what I mean. But yeah, I like how.
Well, it's kind of his motivation.
Yeah, I would assume so. And he wants to live. He wants to live forever, and nobody else matters, right? The other thing is, I'm assuming they're going to, but we get very little on it. But like the whole idea that Weimer, had the presentation and that on that video that we saw about the water, and like I said earlier, the water has healing properties and all that. And he talks about, I think I'm not in the right place in my recap notes, but I think it was Ganga, I think was the name of the goddess of the water or whatever. So I remember I had looked that up, and like, that is the Ganges River and stuff. Like, people do, I guess, believe a lot of those myths. And I think that could be like an interesting, avenue to delve more into, outside of the, I guess it is part of the Reviver myth. So maybe I shouldn't say outside the Reviver because it's still part of the Reviver story. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more places to kind of go with that. And, we know that like he was trying to live forever, but now that M can heal, I mean, who knows what else that water can do? You know what I mean? Like we just don't know. And yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of like I ended up, I think, going in a circle with that, but like I got my point across.
Yeah. You know what the best part of that video is? A little sex romp afterwards. That's quite the way for that's quite the way for Dana to go to figure it all out and go, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Like taped over their sexy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think we
and I love Cooper. Cooper's like, what are they doing? Why are you blocking it?
Like nothing to see here. Nothing to see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her to stop it. I also though don't get, and I'm sorry, I forget her name, but the woman that he's in the video with, who she's just like, oh, he has that. I've always hated that. Like he's got this symbol carved into his chest, and you don't like freak out that somebody has a big, looks like cult symbol carved into their chest. It's just creepy, and you keep having sex with them. I don't know. I would think that would be a red flag if that happens, So that was kind of funny, but.
He could have explained it off as he could have been like it was a military thing from when his military days.
I don't know. To me, that's definitely a big
A
thing.
red flag.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you could just pass it off and be like, oh, it's just it's a because it isn't a tattoo. I mean, it looks like it's carved into his skin. If it was a tattoo, you could maybe
it looks like it's a scar. It's scarred.
it away.
Yeah,
it's carved into his chest.
It's a scar, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, would be very very scary to me and would make me ask questions, that's for sure. So we also get Wanda's whatever you want to call it, passenger.
Creep.
Yeah. And I love we get a really good look at it there in the picture. I love how their skin like glows under their skin. There's like a glowing, not just the chest. I mean, like if you look at its the rest of its body, there's like it's glowing underneath. So yeah, how awful is that? This scene was really heartbreaking. So I guess Wanda's dead, but her soul is not and is forever separated from, I don't know, because what's a soul without, I don't know, like without the rest of the person, like you would think that it wouldn't still survive.
Well, it kind of looks like it's dying.
Well, yeah, it could be, but she's already dead, so I don't know. I'm wondering if it just is.
Well, it could never be reunited with her, right? Like these souls were divided from their person on Revival Day, and they can't go where they need to go without being reunited with that body, right?
Right.
It's not really clear.
Doomed to wander the woods forever and never.
I guess, yeah, and everybody move on. I mean, I guess that's why, like, it's everybody. Revival Day affected everybody who died in the last 2 weeks, right? So, in the comic book, it's everybody who died in the last day. It happened. Revival Day is January 2nd, and everybody who died on January 1st is revived. And it's a little easier to have it be a story of like your soul had not yet moved on, right? 2 weeks now, they're saying it takes 2 weeks for your soul to move on for your body. Like, I'm not really sure, right?
I'm not sure. I think it's just that 2 weeks. I'm not sure what that has to do with how long it takes for them to move on. It's just the idea that people.
Well, everybody who died in the last 2 weeks. Their souls
who died within the last 2 weeks was revived, and
their souls were separated from their beings, from their bodies.
Yeah, but who knows how long they normally could go without their soul? We don't know.
Well, all right, hold on. Let me simplify this. What Karen is trying to say, I think, is in
comics.
The belief is when the body dies, your soul ascends. Yeah, so this is telling us that it takes 2 weeks for your soul, at least over 2 weeks for your soul to ascend, because all their souls were separated because they came back from the dead because they hadn't ascended.
That's true, because otherwise maybe some of them would have been reunited by then and had ascended. Okay, I didn't think about it that way. I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe. I hadn't really made the connection to that, but
I hadn't
maybe
thought
some
about that either until Karen just
longer
said
than
it.
others. Like I said Friday, I kind of think that was more made sense because they needed more revivers, probably to have a TV show as opposed to a comic. They need to have enough to
Fair enough.
sustain, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea, at least with Lester, is that they somehow can, take this soul that as energy, I guess you'd say, and use it to live or forever or be young or whatever. But
Mhm.
clearly, we have found that it has to be, I guess, during the transfer, because otherwise. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm guessing the military is probably going to experiment on this thing though and try to find if there's another way to take that. At least I'm guessing that's the point. But yeah, they got what they needed, because she's even like, "Let Wayne go. We don't need him now. We got what we needed. We got something."
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
And the way it was like crying, it was so sad, right? It just sounded like it was in pain and it was moaning.
Yeah.
It was really very
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's see. So M still hasn't pieced it together. There's the video of Aaron explaining this. Now, M wakes up, and that's where we see the two, which I still thought it was interesting. And I know, Karen, you probably don't want to hear me talk about the fact that there was two colors and everything, and that it changed.
Okay, well now see, I have
No.
questions about this.
Yeah.
So it starts out yellow, which is not surprising. Why does it turn purple? Do you know why,
Yeah.
Karen?
My question.
Is that a thing, or is that?
I mean, yeah, I know why. I think I know
Okay.
why. Yeah, I think I know.
I'm not asking. I'm not asking to
I mean,
answer.
yes and no. I mean,
You have an idea why it might be.
I have an idea of why they
did that too, but I guess. But yeah, I think it's more interesting that it changed. I think to me is the bigger picture.
Well, the color back there was yellow, and then the color back there.
Yeah,
became
it wasn't just only purple, because I didn't notice that until I had taken the screen captures.
I noticed it. Yeah, I noticed it when I watched it.
Well, but yeah, it's yellow. But I think to me, the bigger question is the fact that it seems, which I'm guessing she didn't, but it seems that she, as we say, ET'd with her soul, because she does have the purple, going into her at one point whenever she's glowing like Lester has. But I guess that transfer was interrupted by Dana. So yeah, I guess with hers, it has to be in the water, and therefore it wasn't complete. So I don't know if that means she's still going to want to reunite with it, if it did anything to her for the time that she was with it. I have like lots of thoughts and lingering questions with that, and wanting to know,
Yeah, I do too, simply because technically she rejoined with her soul, so she should have ascended.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah,
I guess because she wasn't in the
But
water.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something
Even more, but yeah.
But she didn't actually join with her soul the same way that we see Jesse and Jordan do it. The soul was already in the water when she went in the water. So I don't know. And Lester's dead, so he can't explain it to us.
Well, and Jordan and Jesse had these very sort of calm, like they went willingly, right? They
were both ready to go.
They were ready to
that's
go.
my question too. Maybe she just also didn't want to or wasn't ready, and that could be like the whole difference, because we don't really know whether.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can touch your soul but not be ready to go. You can still touch your soul and be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to go yet.
But yeah, either way, Dana, I guess, partially stopped her though too. So I don't know. Lots to think about at any rate. But yeah, and the fact is, at some point, obviously, her soul went into Lester, at least for a little bit, because he does.
Well, no, he was drawing the essence. I wouldn't say the soul went into him.
Well, yeah, maybe not the whole soul, but
it was just.
I mean, part of it was trying to kind of picture or not.
I mean, he doesn't really. I don't think he really wants her soul in the sense that he doesn't really know. In the sense that he doesn't really know what's going on. He's performing a ritual that he is going to give him extended life, and he doesn't really know or care what he's doing. Right?
Yeah.
He just has to kill a girl to make it happen, and he's not really. I don't think he's cognizant of like, oh, if I can steal her soul, then I can live forever, right?
Yeah, that's what kind of makes it creepy when you think about it more, like that he is kind of trying to steal her soul, you know. But yeah, that's why I said I kind of look at it as her life force, her energy, is when he's trying to steal it, as opposed to he's trying to take it.
Yes,
right.
He's trying to take whatever it is that keeps you young and keeps you healthy.
Right. I'm curious why it didn't work with Rose, but it seems to be working with M.
I think that depends on whether they go with the comic book, would be my answer to that. Probably Karen's answer. I don't know. It kind of depends where it goes.
But the comic book or not, my point is
no, like
there's obviously a reason. I'm just saying I'm curious to what that reason is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like obviously it depends on the comic.
Well, no, but I just mean that's something that could be answered if it depends.
There's an answer, and I don't think they're going to change what that answer is. But you could speculate. It could be it could be the moon wasn't full. It could be he did it wrong. It could be right. It could be a bunch of. It could be the lake, the water. It could be a bunch of things, right?
Yeah.
How long has it been since? Like, all right, before the time jump at the end of the episode, how long had it been from Revival Day till this moment here?
Well, there was the 35-day time jump at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
That's right.
So 35 days plus however long the season was, I guess. So like
a couple months
maybe. Yeah. A long time.
Yeah. I have a theory that I'm not going to speculate on the air.
Okay.
Because I know there's some truth to it. Maybe.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
We don't want to share spec that we think is dead on. We don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Or anything that's derived from the comic book. We don't want to like spoil
or derived from text messages and people didn't think about what they were saying.
When we saw this scene, I couldn't believe.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Every time Jamie and Scarlett see like deer antlers, they're like, "Oh, yellow jackets!" And like this whole scene went by, and Jamie never like.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think about it until you said that. It does kind of bring up yellow jackets a bit, but I was in the revival zone more than I was thinking about yellow jackets.
You were.
But yeah, it does have kind of that folk horror cult stuff going on that can be fun. But yeah. Well, either way, I'm excited to see where it's going, whether it goes the way of the comic book or goes completely, off a different direction. I just really, really hope it gets renewed, and I really, really hope we find out soon. Those are my two.
Yeah.
My two things.
I don't know if you'll find out soon. I feel like Sci-Fi is a slow renew, but
it could be a while. Yeah,
I'll put it this way. Unless Sci-Fi wants a riot, I don't see the show not getting.
That's the way to look at it. Yeah, we'll just tell them we'll riot if they don't renew it.
I mean, look at the Rotten Tomato scores, crying out loud.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, say what you want about Rotten Tomatoes, but they're usually pretty dead on with how things go.
Yeah, it's gotten good ratings. And the other thing is I know, like I know Lori was asking me earlier because apparently there's articles, it's in trouble and everything, but those go up with everything that hasn't been renewed. I mean, that is not a good judge of whether something's coming back or not. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times those articles are just clickbait, and they're all like, is it going to be renewed or not? You just don't know. You don't know till you know. But I wouldn't put stock into anything until it's officially stated one way or another.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will be shocked if it does not get renewed.
I would be shocked if it wasn't renewed too.
And if it doesn't get renewed, then we need to have Luke on and tell us what season 2 is going to be like.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Yeah. At least they have a game plan, so hopefully we'll find out one way or another. But no, I would be surprised if it wasn't, honestly.
They have to. They have to renew it. They need some kind of TV. They canceled
They
that
need some
Resident
kind of
Alien.
science fiction TV, but it's good. And like I said, I liked Resident Alien. I didn't want it to end, but in the scheme of things, I'd much rather revival if I had to choose. So
Or Surreal
Right.
Estate. Way better than Surreal Estate.
yeah, it's better than home. So I would definitely choose revival. So yeah, I would be surprised, but I think it's going to be renewed. I just who knows how long it's going to take for us to find out. But that doesn't mean anything. You just have to wait, and it just sucks waiting. I mean, it does.
Yeah.
It's great, but yeah. So
All right, so there was a little bit more in this show.
So yeah, we have the 35 days later again, and we have the idea, and this is where I said like they're done. I guess supposedly done persecuting them for right now, at least legally. That's what I said. That doesn't mean that people are going to accept it, but it sounds like they're done rounding them up, at least for the time being.
Right.
We can. But like I said, yeah, most of them I don't think are even in Wassa anymore. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if their IDs are still marked or not. People might know it wherever they're at, though. That's the thing that sucks. Like, can they completely get away from it? You know, people are going to know they're revivers no matter where they go, but hopefully wherever else they've gone, they're a little safer at any rate. But
Well, it's not like there was a national reviver list. It's not like every state got, hey, this is a list of all the revivers in Wausau. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you'd have to get a fake ID in order to cover up the fact.
Hey, I lost my license. I need a new
I
one.
guess you could do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's a little.
Well, I mean, if you died 2 weeks, if you died 2 weeks ago, there's a death certificate and it's associated with your social security number.
Fair enough.
There's that too.
All right, great. Good point, Karen.
Yeah, and I don't think you could necessarily get a new license issued if there was a death certificate out for you. It would be a little bit different.
Fair enough. Yeah, then what ID are these people flashing?
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe they all have fake IDs. I don't know. Maybe people help them get them. Who knows? But yeah, I think if they're a reviver, people probably know they're a reviver.
I think it's an oversight.
Yeah. Maybe
there should be like a blanket. Revivers are considered safe or whatever, and that they're given amnesty. I don't want to say amnesty. That's not the right. You know what I mean? But like they're all forgiven, not even forgiven.
Maybe let's not think too much about it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we go back to Cooper, who I don't know how the hell he's dealing with everything that's going on in his family. Poor Cooper.
Kids are resilient.
Yeah.
I like how they juxtapose the end of the season to the beginning of the season. How this?
Yeah, they kind of redid it in a different way.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, this is the scene with basically Wayne is, I guess, retiring from the job. I mean, I don't know if they don't actually say he's fired, but JP's taken over as interim sheriff.
I got the impression that it was a forced leave of absence.
I mean, he may serve at the pleasure of the mayor, and he rounded up the mayor's wife and had her sent to revival prison.
And the mayor
asked for him to step down. Oh no, he's elected. He's elected, right? He doesn't serve at the pleasure of the mayor. He's elected because they make a reference to how this new guy's gonna have to run. They made multiple elections at mentions of running for sheriff.
Sheriffs are elected, but I still say that this was not a choice made by.
No, I agree. It seems like it was more of a forced.
The town may have lost confidence in him
for good reason. To be fair,
and maybe the town will not tolerate a sheriff who has a reviver daughter. Maybe it's reviver hate that causes him to step down. Also, right? I
hadn't thought about it that way, but I would think if that was the case, though, Dana would have been fired too. Well, she's a cop, but still.
She's not elected. She can't be
forced
out by the ship. And she'd be protected by a union. She can't be forced out by public opinion the way an elected official
can. No, she can't be forced out, but I mean, I would think that she would be getting the same hate.
I guess, maybe, yeah. Maybe, yeah.
She's still part of that family. But either way, this scene also, like I said earlier, brings in the idea that whatever you want to call it, the disease from what was going on with the relationship started in his office. And now they are trying to mend it. So it kind of, represents all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how they did it. I know you don't care, but I like how they did it.
I mean, I don't think that what was wrong with their family started in that office. It started on the road with
No,
the car crash.
I think that he caused a lot of it.
I mean,
And
it just
think
showed that that like she complains about a leak, he doesn't respond, right? Because he's
and obviously the leak isn't really the problem.
and it was coming from his office. Yeah.
Relationship issues come from him not treating them right and not listening. And either way, they're fixing it. That's the thing.
Right. Well, like the new guy, it's like his first order of business. Oh yeah, let me fix that for you, right?
I was gonna say, is that you, Karen?
It's like the
not
first
an
thing
ambulance, I guess. It's a little bit different. But they're taking care of it either way. But whether or not, I don't know. That's the thing too, though. Like they're fixing the relationship, but he's still not is not good at talking to her, I guess, because they have that conversation in the car where he wants to talk to Cooper, and she's like, no, he still blames you, and she's like, but I'll talk to you, and he sort of shies away from that. So
she's like, I'll talk to you, and he's like, eh. Like, gee, thanks.
I think he's still not dealing with it well. He needs to learn to be a better father, that's for sure. But to be fair, there is a lot going on. But and then Ibrahim is staying behind to teach and will be able to, science the shit out of that creek and save her. I don't know. Science the shit out of the water and figure out what the hell is going on in this town. And like I said, and date Dana. I still think they're cute. I like their.
I think they're cute.
I like what she says to him. She's like, we should do it again. He's like, do what? And she's like, dent a car.
Yeah. Because they had this conversation before when she was trying to ask about the second time. Yeah, he's not getting it. But we know he's gonna have. I mean, they had to find a reason for him to stay, and that.
Well, the reason's pretty obvious for him to stay. I mean, he's got to science the shit out of that river.
Yeah.
And then we have her finding or looking through M stuff. Sorry.
Oh my God, what is going on outside my house? Do you hear that?
Yes. Somebody's drag racing.
Somebody's riding dirt bikes up and down my street, I think. They're illegal where I live.
They're definitely very loud.
They're not street legal. Now we have the sort of memory montage.
Yes, with the poem about death, which is in the comics, I know. That's M has in the voiceover. And here we do have, obviously, Nithya is getting chemo at this point. So she was getting chemo. I mean, she leaves, I think is the, clearly the issue, the point that she does leave, but she was up until this point still getting chemotherapy. But you're right. That is the whole montage and.
So one thing we didn't really talk about that I had mentioned Friday night was, I coming down to the wire, I suspected Lester, I suspected Nithya, I suspected May. I had about 4 suspects, but I was really leaning heavily towards Lester, mostly because now I understand Nithya's part and everything, but I had originally suspected her because I didn't think Aaron told her. I was like, why would Aaron tell her that one of his students was a reviver? You know what I mean? Like, that seems suspicious. Come to find out that she was kind of in on it a little bit.
We don't really know what part Nithya was in. That's, I think, the big to me.
Well, she lured it to the bridge that night. We know that much.
Yeah, I know.
So we know. And I speculated that, was his affair with M intentional? Like, was she part of it to the point where you need to, who knows? It could have been, I mean, we won't find out until next season, but was it her idea saying, listen, we need a girl, start an affair with this girl so we, that she trusts you and everything, and then we can kill her in the river? I don't know. That's
who tells their husband to have an affair with me. I don't know. I still question that there's a possibility that it's 2 separate things. That she was after M and like her husband doesn't even know that she lured her there. I like I said before, I don't know why I think that, and I, for whatever reason, don't think that she was doing anything nefarious like he was. I don't even know that it was connected.
Yeah, but how did Aaron know she was there that night?
Well, he might have known where she was, but I don't know. I just feel like it's two different things. And we're
How did he know Rose was at the bus stop, or how did he know that M was like he joined?
How did he know M was at the bridge?
Because he joined the internet forum to tell her to go to the bridge.
No, he didn't do it. Nithia did.
Oh, Nithia did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it. So I mean, I just think that. So I like the way you're thinking like, could Aaron have lured her into the affair on purpose? And were they like, oh, find a girl, have an affair, trigger her to the bridge? Like, isn't it just easier to snatch a girl off the street like he did with Rose? Like, just snatch a girl and take her to the bridge and kill her. Like, why? If you're right, like, what was the point? I'm not saying it couldn't be possible, but what would be the point of that when you could just snatch a girl from the bus stop like they did with Rose?
Yeah, and Lester, that's why Lester said that, like, he wanted to use M because it got rid of the problem of the affair, which makes sense. That's why I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, don't know that he knew that Nithia knew everything, like that she was part of it in that sense. I think it's.
I guess it could be. I'm not saying this is correct because I'm
saying I don't even know why I feel like that. I just feel like that.
You could be right, Jamie. You could absolutely be right. It could be totally separate, and we're led to believe that it's connected.
I mean, in the long list of reasons why M is different, maybe because she went willingly to the bridge and Rose didn't go willingly. Maybe that's a differentiator.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I do know, so I'm not telling you, but if there's a list of things that could be different about her, maybe that's one of them. Maybe that's why you would want to lure M instead of just. I mean, why you would lure M to that location instead of just snatching a girl?
Maybe. I don't know that if that's the case, though, that's like one of the prerequisites. Would they know?
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying there's a long list of potential. There's a long list of potential things, and that could be one of them.
Yeah. All right. So we also have, this is where she talks to Kay. Dana talks to Kay and finds out that, Nithia requested to be M's doctor and that she did tell her to go to the bridge, but we've talked about that, but that's what that last scene is. And then, yeah, of course, the crazy scene with
Nithia fixes her hoodie.
With her fixing her hoodie and M being alive. I really love, though, how they did this, because I think probably everybody who read the comic, and even though I hadn't read the comic, like I said, I had been spoiled about that part in the comic. It's like, I mean, you thought she was dead. I was like, they're not going to kill M. And then I was like, oh my God,
I didn't think she was dead.
Really? Well, I did up until that point, because probably only because of the comic ending. I assumed that really she was gone. And then I'm like, oh, good. They didn't do that. So I like how they twisted that back.
I mean,
I didn't think she was dead for the simple fact that we don't see her die.
There was a point in this episode. Now I know how it ends, and I know what story might remain to be told, what little bits of things they might use. But there was a point where, maybe not at this point, but there was a point in this episode where I thought, oh, I wonder if this is a one and done. I wonder if this is really going to be the end, and they're just skipping over all this stuff additional stuff that I am aware of, that maybe doesn't need to be in it. There was a moment where it felt a little bit. A moment before this.
Yeah, I think just when Dana's kind of moving on was when I felt that way. When they say it's been 35 days and like no one's heard from them, I just kind of assumed that was it.
Yeah.
No, I immediately just assumed that she was off somewhere. I didn't think she was dead for a second.
I think it depends whether or not you've read the comic, or in my case, I think I'm kind of like in a weird spot because I knew some things, but not everything. So I was kind of like even more confused, I think. The moral of the story is don't look stuff up on Wikipedia. That's the answer.
I mean, you shouldn't have to be told that, but
no, I know.
Well, I mean that's a little more. But to be fair, you don't want to know something about something, just stay off the internet altogether, because I will never forget when the new when Star Wars the second so episode 8, when episode 8 of Star Wars came out, Alyssa had gone online to look at something completely different, and she saw a headline about Han Solo dying.
Yep, you got to be really careful.
You do.
And the movie hadn't even come out yet. Like it was like the night before. So it was somebody had seen an early screening.
Yeah, not cool.
But yeah, I was specifically looking up about Blaine. I didn't think that by looking up about Blaine, I would find out the ending to the whole thing. But it still was very enjoyable, even so, knowing it. So, and it just makes me want to read it more. So it's all good. But yeah, and then we get the weird fact that they're in the middle of nowhere. But
yeah,
and that the fact that they're together is the big, and they're hiding in a remote location. Is I mean, I could see why M would be hiding in a remote location. She, aside from everything that went on, she did kill all the Czech brothers. She killed people, right? She killed all the Czech brothers. Now, granted, they were holding a lot of people captive and they were bad dudes, but she still would maybe have to face a police inquiry about that, right?
I just more feel bad for Dana because she doesn't know.
Well, I mean, but M didn't tell her for a reason, and I guess.
Right?
No,
I know. I'm just saying, like, I do feel kind of bad, like she thinks she's dead, and obviously, I don't think she's going to think she's dead for a whole season. But I mean, who knows? I don't know because it hasn't been written yet. But I wouldn't think that she would think that for the whole season.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, pretty good season.
Very good season. Yeah. And I think that it's good that it was like, because we talked, I know we've talked about like getting enough episodes. I do think that they gave it, I mean, granted, I'm not saying I wouldn't like more, but I think that they gave it a good amount that they were able to tell the story. It wasn't, it didn't
I mean, I think
short.
Yeah, like, I think the pacing was great.
Yeah, and like you said before, it got better every week. I mean, it really did. Like, it was always good. There was never one that wasn't bad, or never one that was bad. And I think that every week you kind of were more, or at least I was, more sucked into it and wanting to know what the hell was going on. So, yeah. Yep. So we will wait, and hopefully we will have, hopefully we'll have news about it soon. I just kind of, this is like that time where it's like sad though, because it's like it's over and we're not going to get to talk about this. I enjoyed it and I want to see more, and now we're going to have forever to wait, but that is the way television is. I miss the, you only had to wait between May and November or whatever, and shows came back.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm sure that the people making the shows didn't enjoy it, but the viewers did. But
there's still some shows made like that.
Not usually, though, and they were.
I mean,
network television's still like that.
Still like that.
Some things, but I mean, for the most part, that was because they were overworked. I mean, that's what the strikes were about. That's why they changed a lot of it. So,
well, people are also distracted, and there's more on, right? And
yes, it also used to be that everything there was all reruns in the summer, and now it's like.
But network television will do 12, 14, 16 episodes and come back reliably a year later.
Yeah, it does make it seem like longer when it's shorter seasons. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So they need to advertise it so people don't forget about things. That's, I think, one of the biggest issues is they take so long and then people forget, and they forget what happened. Like they need to re-air them or something. Like do like a marathon before it comes back or something. I mean, look at like Stranger Things. I'm going back and watching 4 years of that. Like I like the show, but I'm not gonna, I don't remember half of what happened. I need a recap. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I need to take my overlay off, don't I?
Yeah, because you're gonna disappear on us now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang around, but I'll mute myself because I won't know what you guys are talking about anyway, but I'll probably hang out in the chat. Although if everybody stays quiet in the chat, I don't know that it'll do me any good, but
yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we just like that. No, that's not all the same size. There we go. Is that the right one? I don't know. You guys can mess with it.
Yeah, that one's good. We can
whatever.
Good, yeah.
But I'm just going to probably turn my camera off because I don't know if I can switch it otherwise, and it looks weird having it like repeated. All right, guys. I know I do want to say though before I forget, because we didn't make announcements about the interview. I have to fix the thumbnail. But everybody on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Jane. I guess you pronounce her name Luke. I would assume Jane Luke, who plays for
I thought it was
Institute.
Luck.
Luck?
Jane
Okay,
Luck.
Jane Luck. I'm not sure which. We'll have to ask her. But who plays Maureen on the Institute? She's going to be on live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. So everybody make sure you tune into that. And then tomorrow night at 11 Eastern, I think is what I have on the calendar. I got to double check. But we're going to be doing Alien Earth. So at least this week. It's not going to be the same day every week, but we'll have
Tomorrow night at midnight.
Sorry?
At midnight tomorrow night?
No, at 11. I think.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I put 11. I didn't schedule. I got to go schedule it, so I got to link up, but I didn't get a chance yet. But yeah, so everybody look out for that, and please join us back. Tomorrow. Different schedule this week. All right, guys. I'm going to turn my camera off.
Okay.
There we go. I think I got to stop the. I'll figure it out. Now I'm just a thing. That doesn't work either. Does it?
Yeah. She's just a little thingy there.
I'm not sure how the heck I.
Just mute yourself. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I'm going to know. I was just trying to figure out how the heck so it's not doing that. I don't know how to fix it. Hold on.
It's all right. It's
Whatever.
fine. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So Star Trek, this was episode 6, I think, right?
I don't know. I just turn it on every week on Thursday and watch it.
I think it was episodes. I'm looking it up right now on another tab. So I think it was episode 6. And I think it was called The Somebody Who Ate Its Tail, right? It's called
Yes.
Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it. It's based on this like Vulcan saying that Spock mentions, right?
Yeah, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah. So anyway, how'd you like it?
I liked it. It was enjoyable. It was, that was interesting that essentially what we got was TOS minus a couple characters.
Well, yeah, right.
Kirk was the acting captain, and he had Spock and Uhura and Scotty and Chapel. So I thought that was fun. It's funny. I actually kept waiting for Bones to show up. So, I thought maybe Bones was going to be the doctor in the down in sick bay.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool, right? Except
especially because we know from the original series that Kirk and McCoy have been friends forever. They've been friends a long, long, long time.
Yeah, and in the Chris Pine movies, they meet right that first mission right out of the academy or whatever, right? They meet in that Star Trek movie, that Chris Pine movie, and
yeah,
they meet on the shuttle going up to the Enterprise, and become friends. So yeah, that would have been kind of cool, but I guess it's not time. I agree. I kind of liked it. This show amazes me sometimes. The way Anson Mount, the actor who plays Chris Pine, Chris Pike, not Chris Pine, Chris Pike. The amount of time that your lead actor is a supporting actor in an episode. It's really very great of the writers and of the whole cast, the way they cycle through stories, it's not on some episodes the number one guy is the main character in every single episode, and on this show often some of the top actors are I just feel like Anson Mount's always game for anything they want to put on the screen, right? He's really game for
that's something this show's done really well, is even though Anson Mount is your star, they give all the characters their time and their story, and sometimes there's very minimal Anson Mount on the screen in an episode.
Yeah. I was interested. I mean, I loved getting a Kirk episode. It was kind of interesting that they gave this really whole episode over to Kirk almost, right? We know kind of where this is going, and I mean, eventually. I don't know how many. I mean, there's 1.5 more seasons. It makes me wonder, like, as they develop. This is not the first time we've seen James Kirk, and it maybe went a little bit like, are they developing them a little bit more? Like, when this ends in a season and a half, what's the long-term plan for the Star Trek property, and what is Paramount going to do next? And would there be a Kirk?
I hope not, actually, because I feel like while they've played kind of fast and loose with the history, I don't like the idea of a whole new Kirk Enterprise show.
Yeah, that's almost like untouchable, right? In terms
Kind
of
of sacrilegious.
Yeah. and the pre-TOS Kirk was covered pretty heavily in the Chris Pine movies, right? The what's his name with the glasses? Yeah. The guy who J.J. Abrams movie. And like, do they want to recover that ground? Like, no, probably, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Canon now. It's interesting how much this season is leaning into romance, and it wasn't evident in this episode so much, except we know that James Kirk is La'an's lost love from the alternate timeline they were in, right?
Yeah, there was some lingering looks there.
Yeah. Just as she's becoming closer to Spock, and then Chaplin, like everybody, they're really mixing up throwing them all together, and yet they didn't overplay it at all in this episode. I thought it was well done the way those lingering looks were like all we needed, right?
Yeah.
Between these 3 characters or 4 characters this week, really. How'd you like the overall story?
I thought it was very interesting. Hell of a twist at the end there when you find out that this monstrous ship that has been around for centuries, devouring planets and ships and people and everything, turns out to be they're humans. Turns out they're descendants of a group of humans who left after World War III, many years in our future.
Yeah.
Hopefully many years in our future.
They said in the mid 20th century. So like 25 years, in the mid 21st century.
I know. I know what they said.
From now, right?
But let's put it this way: it was before First Contact. A bunch of scientists and astronauts took off, and things clearly did not go as planned. And it was an interesting twist. And it kind of it gave everybody a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Nobody more so than Kirk.
Because he had annihilated 7,000 humans. It became I don't know how many people left initially, right?
Well, you saw the picture of everybody. It was maybe 20 of them.
Yeah. But somebody said they and their families left. They were I think it's Pelia who says oh, I remember that, right? And because she's what is she 500 years old?
5,000.
All right, 5,000. And she says something about their families also, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I just Googled, in Star Trek, First Contact is on Earth is 2063. So we have a few years. You'll be gone. You think you'll be gone by then? It's only less than 30 years from now.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah, it was interesting, the idea also that who humans became without First Contact, by going out into space. What was their first contact? They went out to space. Their first contact maybe was, I don't know, how they became like that.
Not for nothing. I know it's not going to happen, but that would be kind of a cool spinoff.
That group of people who went off pre-contact.
Yeah, that would be kind of a cool spinoff. We already know how they end up, but to see the beginnings and the transition, that would be kind of neat.
It's after World War III, but it's not so far. You know how the Federation is and Earth is so post poverty, post disease, post work, post
Right.
money, post right. And that's not how these people were when they went into space.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be hey, anybody at Star Trek happenings listening, we want we want a spin off of these people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a really cool story, actually.
I think it would be too. There was a bunch of other fun stuff. I loved getting to Pellia's apartment in her stateroom on the ship.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, getting the telephones, that was so great.
And
the
Felix
the cat clock,
right? And when Mbanga looks around, she's got all these carpets and tapestries, and Mbanga says, "Oh, courtesan, I should have known," or something like that, right?
I like when he says, this is exactly what I expected.
Yeah. And then she has not one phone, but a bunch of phones. Nobody knows what the phones are. She gets this really like analog workaround.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun running that. I mean, it was a Monster of the Week episode. It was people overcoming like a number of problems, but
the interesting though is like Star Trek isn't famous for having like messages in their episodes or being really preachy or anything. But I thought it was really interesting, that conversation between Pike and Kirk at the end, when Kirk is kind of like, "I'm responsible for the death of 7,000 humans," and he's like, "I didn't care until I knew they were human," and Pike's like, maybe that's the lesson in this, maybe you have empathy for your enemy regardless of their species.
Yeah, and Pike says, "We don't know. Did they know we were human and not care?" Right? Like
they totally knew. No, that's what he said. He said they knew. They saw us. They knew who we were, and they didn't care.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I read on the internet that at the end, when they zoom in on the hull of the ship and they see there's an American flag and a ship number that says like CVX 110 or whatever. I read that is taken from, there's a scene in the first Shatner Star Trek movie where they go into a room that has a historical display. Who are they showing? Somebody comes to visit and they're showing someone a display starting with a sailing ship and an airplane and going through the evolution of man transportation. Right. And they get to like the Apollo 13, the space shuttle. And before you get to the starships, there's one of these rounded CVX. It has a different number, like 330, but they were inspired. Like they went back to old Star Trek to kind of find a ship that they could adapt to like old Star Trek, like different ships that
makes sense.
And use kind of a real thing in there. You have to. The Trekkies will get you. The real Star Trek. There are people that are such students of Star Trek, they will get you, right? So they threw in this like little piece of canon, or made it canon by doing that. One thing that is bothering me a little bit is the slow walk on Ortegas and what is wrong with her. And there's nothing wrong with her in this episode, right? Like, I mean, we had seen Ortegas be put on report and be taken off duty for a couple weeks because of insubordination. And she seemed to really be affected by the Gorn experience. And it's just kind of gone, like in the last couple of episodes, right?
I think that's going to be one of those things where all of a sudden we're going to get an Erica episode because it's going to just be like front and center. Like something's going to happen. It's going to trigger. And we're going to find it. And that's what I think that's intentional, that they're kind of, they focused on it. Then they focused on it a little bit less, and then they make us forget about it. So then when it comes back around, we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
TV 101.
Yeah. TV 101. It'll be coming back. Yeah. So this was 6. We have 4 more episodes only to go.
Yep.
I had to subscribe to Paramount today because the network only sent me the first 5 screeners. And so I subscribed today and I'm like, oh, we have 4 more left. Can I get 4 weeks and only pay for 1 month of this trial? I don't know. I might have to go a little longer. We'll see. But Yeah, I like this one. This is one of the. I'm trying to think of what are my favorite ones of the season, and I kind of really like this one. I mean, I don't think there's really been a bad one yet.
No, I really like the was that last week?
That was last week. The archaeology mission down to the planet with the yeah.
No, I've liked all of them, and I gotta say, I mean, the way the season started with introducing that that Q has a son, I thought that was great.
Oh yeah,
That was so much fun.
And
Artie was funny. He's like, I was really hoping. He's like, I wonder why they just didn't use Q's voice and they didn't actually have him on screen. I was like, because John Delancey does age unlike Q. I was like, even though they had Q aged in
Picard,
but they had an answer for that because he just felt like, since Picard was old, he wanted to appear old.
Yeah. But and like the aging of Picard and everyone, their aging was like really part of the story, right?
Yeah. I was like, so that's why I said, pretty sure that's probably why they just said, all right, John, we just need your voice.
Give me a son to pass the baton to a guy who won't age for the next couple of years.
I like the way they've introduced things and found ways to introduce stuff that we know, but have a reason not to have it. Introducing a Q and then not mentioning it, having never heard of it until TNG makes perfect sense. That's fine. I like what they did with the holodeck. How she's like, yeah, we need to mothball this thing because it's dangerous. And then we don't. Again, another thing, we don't get back until TNG.
Yeah, we don't get it back. And
so I think it's fun the way they're showing us and introducing stuff like that. Who knows? We might get more.
Yeah, so we might see later, and yeah. So yeah, I really liked it. This is a great. Yeah. I mean, this is one of my favorite of the. Like, did I like Discovery? Sure, but I think I like this better.
I do too. I like it a lot better too because I like that it's got the overarching story, but it's mostly monster. It feels a lot more like the original series.
It does. It has that kind of old school feel, and yet and really fun. It's got the fun back in Star Trek,
yes,
right?
The fun, yes.
Like Discovery had some fun, but it was very serious.
Discovery started off really strong, and it kind of faltered, and then that season with Book and the other guy.
Making an illegal weapon.
It was the next to last season really kind of didn't help it. Case.
Yeah.
Final season came back around and was definitely better, but it was definitely losing its thrusters as it went on.
Yeah, and this show has successfully kept it pretty. There's the overarching story, but it's pretty fun and adventure-y every week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I did notice Marie. I didn't notice the absence of Marie Patel this week, but we had to take a little break from that Gorn storyline, right?
There's only so much you can do with her right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like you said, she's got to leave eventually.
Yeah, she has to leave. We know that. We know Pike's ultimate end. So eventually she leaves. Yeah, and two. They can't just be two captains on one starship. Like she's got to get her own ship.
Right.
Yeah.
So
she's going to hear it. So anyway, yeah, it was great. Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
All right. So next week we've got this and Invasion.
I'm so excited for Invasion to come back.
I know you are.
Look who's back. And Jamie's back also. I'm excited about that too.
You're muted though.
You're on mute.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm
there
here.
You go.
I was sitting here scrolling on social media waiting, but I'm here.
Okay. She's back.
But and make sure that we have your interview up too with.
Oh yeah. So my interview with Simon Kinberg should go up shortly, tomorrow or Thursday. And it's spoiler free, so you can watch it before you see any of the episodes. All right. So so next week we just have Star Trek and Invasion, huh?
Yep.
Wow, I don't know. Should I come? I don't watch it. I gotta try to watch Invasion, but
I thought
I'm
you watched
afraid.
Invasion. You know, I thought you watched Invasion.
I never did.
Huh?
How many are there? Is there like a lot?
This is season 3, right?
You have probably 20 episodes to watch to catch up before
They're
this.
not long seasons though. It sounds like so.
I think you would really like it, Jamie. I think it's the kind of thing that you would really like.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch it, so maybe I can find some time.
I think if she can make it through season 1, because a lot of people, I didn't mind season 1. I thought even though it seemed slow, I thought there was a lot of intricate stuff going on that really intrigued me. So if Jamie can make it through season 1, then I think she'll like it a lot.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll see if I can. I don't know if I can get it done by then, but I will try.
Right. Well, someday. Everybody's watch it someday.
But yeah, and then I should have up my interview too. Well, I guess now it's still got like a week before the premiere, more than a week before the premiere for Tony and Ziva. That's got a little bit yet, but that interview will be up soonish.
Okay.
Soonish around the premiere.
All right.
All right. So Thursday will be here for the interview. Monday for Institute. And back on Max's Tuesday.
Yeah. Join us tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern for Alien Earth, and Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern for our interview for the Institute.
Okay.
Scheduled. So thank you, everybody.
Have
a good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.